Hey everybody, welcome back or welcome in if you're new here. If you're new here, get in here, get cozy, make yourself at home. If you are new, we just hang out and we watch people being messy on the internet. It's no big deal. And whatever you do, don't go to any of the people that we talk about in this video and harass them, bully them, get into their comments and tell them what people are saying. It's unnecessary. We got this, and I know you won't. I'm proud of you. We're talking about Rosie. I wanted to look at one of her recent lives and just talk about like her being kind of nasty. She gets angry and she's a very reactive person. We talked about it in the last my last episode about her. She's reactive as a person and doesn't acknowledge it. And I think she does. She has a very specific way of dealing with the way when she's nasty, which is like she hurts people's feelings and then it's either no, I didn't, or it's because of my pain. It's just an interesting kind of behavior that I'm always kind of fascinated by. So we're going to take a look at that. Before I get started, a big shout out and a big thank you to all of my members. I appreciate you so much for all of your support. And if you're feeling it, please like and subscribe. For every like, I will wreck an eyeshadow palette. And for every subscribe, I'm going to eat all the egg rolls.
I normally will cook before I eat on stream and stuff. My mom made food, and I was like, I could just go live because my boyfriend's out doing something right now. There's nothing stopping me except my own willpower.
So not to harp on this, but in our last episode, she very sternly let everyone know that a fat person eating on the internet is not inherently feudalism. And I just need to know what. Then I need you to tell me what this is, because you sat at home for hours and hours and hours not eating, and when it was time to eat, you pressed go live. So tell me what that is. Because, a fat person on the internet eating on the internet is not inherently feudalism, but it's not feudalism.
Sorry, I'm a little dehydrated. Excuse me.
I hated that. I absolutely hated that. I hated that. But I also have a sneaking suspicion that it wasn't for me. I wasn't the audience for that situation.
Panther, I'm gonna be very blunt. I don't have the budget to care about expiration dates. If you do, congratulations. Anyway, moving on. What was hurtful? What? You didn't do anything to me. Anyway.
So we're going to call them Panther. Panther had recommended that Rosie take a look at the expiration dates on her makeup to make sure that she, wasn't putting expired makeup on her face. And Rosie said, "Well, if you can afford fresh makeup, good, hooray for you. But I don't have that kind of budget." And Panther said, "That was hurtful. What did I do to you?" Now, I think presuming that someone's makeup has expired is it's not the kindest thing to make assumptions about someone, but also probably not that far outside of the realm of possibilities.
I'm not fighting with you on this. I was just making a comment. I'm sorry if it offended you. That wasn't my intention. I'm not getting into this. Back and forth. I'm not doing it. I wasn't assuming anything about you. I was speaking in a generality, and I just don't have the energy for this.
Panther responded, "I'm on disability. I do not have family to live with. I still have to pay rent. I still have medical bills." So I think that they were just like, I mean, I feel like this is mostly a troll, But I feel like they were probably trying to like goad her into an argument, which is just so easy. But I also just feel like Ross, like it's okay for like communication to get crossed. It's okay to say like I'm sorry, that's not what I meant. Like, but she just immediately snaps. She immediately is just like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. That's not what I meant. I'm not doing this. Like, you can't just clear things up. You can't clear things up. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to, but like you can also just sort of clear things up without adding more fuel to the fire by being ruder than you were in the in the first place. Do you know what I mean? And then we have like her enablers in the chat. Panther, I think Rose is sorry for what she said and doesn't want to see you hurting. It's best we all just move on. Yeah, is that what you got from the way that she was like, I'm not doing this? Ugh, I didn't do anything to you. I'm not doing this. That's her not wanting to see you hurting. Her best apologies are always going to come from her enablers. People who actually know how to apologize, but want are all everybody's just out here trying to manage her moods, and that's what her enablers are. All of her enablers do. They're all just managing her moods.
Exactly, Sugo. Thank you. Um, this will be good for maybe it's a couple crease shades, or I don't know if we want to go with any black shadows or not. You keep your makeup. I do. Yeah. One time, my niece stressed me the fuck out about that because I was very clear with her what my boundaries were, and she was a child, and she really stressed me out that day. I was like, "Girly pop, we don't dig into these palettes. We don't get messy. No. If you can't handle that, then you need to wait before Aunt Rosie teaches you how to do makeup." But she got it together. Ooh. No, she was a bit older than a toddler. She's just was very excited. She doesn't really. She's not really able to do much with makeup unless I'm around. I do lay down the law. The thing about me and my nieces and nephew is like they know that like Aunt Rosie don't play. Like I love you and I'm a fun time and we're gonna have a blast. But you lie to me, you try to pull some sneaky handed stuff, all the fun goes away. Like I have those conversations with them because I'm like, I'm very clear about that because I'm like, yeah, Aunt Rosie don't play. Auntie Rosie don't play. Like, that's correct. And I've actually I think I've said that to them before. Like I don't play. We're not doing this. Like, because if we're here to have fun, and if you're gonna, try to be sneaky about anything, we're gonna have a problem. And I've never had a problem with them because they actually do listen to me. Like, at least the oldest.
I don't know, man. This kind of made me sad. This part kind of made me sad because I can tell. You can tell when she laughs things off. It's because like she's actually kind of probably pretty mean to them. She's probably pretty mean and probably pretty snappy with them. And like you're like I don't know, being an aunt is fun. It's such a fun relationship to have in like I don't know. I just also just can't imagine being like caring more about like your eyeshadow palettes than you do about like having like time to connect with these kids that you don't see very often who you love. Like, can't you pull a couple out that you don't use that much and let her wreck them? Like, why do you have to be, why do you have to stress out about that stuff? Why is, like, you have so many fucking eyeshadow palettes. Why can't you give her one to, like, that just does not compute in my brain.
I'm aware about the hantavirus stuff. I really don't want to get into it because there is a lot of fear mongering happening and there's a lot we don't know. And we are collectively on a global level like traumatized by COVID. So I don't blame people being concerned and panicky. But I don't want to add to that inadvertently. And yeah, I'm scared. And if you weren't paying attention. All right, enjoy your spaghetti. Thank you for being here, Luca.
Sorry, this just it takes me out. These like the sequences of just like I don't want to talk about the hantavirus, but we are all collectively traumatized by COVID. And if you weren't scared, pause for dramatics. Pause for dramatics. You aren't paying attention. Pause for dramatics. Let it land. Okay, enjoy your spaghetti. Sorry. She's amazing. She's amazing.
So It's a little better.
10 out of 10, no notes, Ursula vibes. She knows it, she owns it. Go off queen. It has never ever occurred to me to spray dry shampoo on my hair when it was all up in a clip. Never never occurred to me to do that. I don't know how you could even get it into where it needs to get like that. But our queen, she must do it so much, she must be so comfortable with it that it works for her, and it works for her. Good for her. Also, she flashed like 1,000 eyeshadow palettes, and this was the only one I liked. I'm just sharing that with you. I don't know shit about fuck when it comes to makeup, but I like this one, and that's it.
Great. Shit. Okay. I'm okay. I'm just realizing I have a lot less energy than I thought.
Okay, so I need everybody in the comments chat. I need y'all to like, do you know someone who does this, of just sits down and right next to you and goes, "Oh no. Oh jeez. Okay." And just like waits for you to ask if they're okay. It makes me crazy. It makes me crazy when people do that. I will forcefully not ask. If you're asking me to ask, I will forcefully not ask. My mom was an iconic person. She was one of those people who like whenever somebody asked how she's doing, she'd go better, which I don't know. It's iconic.
But I'm here and I'm gonna continue anyway. This was just me like trying to figure out what I wanted to do, as I wasn't sure for a second. Yeah, okay. Whatever. I'm just really I'm in a phase right now. I'm gonna be candid for a second. I'm just in a phase right now where I'm really struggling with like grief, with like the reality of my chronic fatigue and chronic pain and whatever autoimmune issue I have going on that I don't have answers for because I lost my insurance and I live in a state where I'm really struggling to qualify to get any kind of help. And I'm just grieving. I like, it's an off and on thing. And it's something I've seen people in the like the chronic illness communities talking about more, and it's helping me understand and process it. But I am just dealing with a lot of like anger and frustration and sadness, and I'm doing the best that I can with the resources that I have, and I'm just struggling. And yeah, that's really it. And I'm in a phase right now where I'm struggling to like not talk about it all the time, which I know I think is something like with you guys watching me, I can understand why that might get annoying or redundant. But I'm in a phase right now where these nerve pain episodes are happening more frequently for longer periods of time, and it consumes my life. And it's different. It's a different kind of pain. And
I think she always just finds a moment in every episode to sort of monologue about how much pain she's in and how sick she is. She doesn't want to hear about it from other people about what kind of sick she might have or like what it might be causing it or what might help. She doesn't want to hear anything. She wants to talk at you about it, and she wants you to give her money. That's what she wants. She's waiting for people to say, "Here's $10. Feel better, honey." That's what she wants. People are actually giving her good advice and talking to her about what could make her life better. No, 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 no. No, no, no. You're wrong and you're bad and the fun is over because she just wants money. And so someone being helpful says, "Rosie, uncontrolled diabetes will make you feel exhausted and worn out. I promise you'll feel different if your blood sugar is in range. I'm diabetic too." That's good information from someone who is actually has the issue that you also have, and can also like give you good advice so that you don't feel like shit anymore. That's good advice, isn't it? She also says, "I know you don't want to hear it, but diabetes affects your entire life. I've lived with it for 19 years." That's what an important person, what an important person who could be a resource either for like active like help, and like physical, like not physical help, but like, you know, logistical help, as well as someone to lean on. What an amazing person, and how kind of you to like give your share your energy, Alien Holly. Let's see how she responds.
My diabetes is currently medicated, guys. Can we stop talking about that? I'm doing everything I can. Good God. God. I've talked about that multiple times already. What I'm dealing with isn't related to my fucking diabetes. Sorry. That was out of character. I didn't need to talk like that. That was unnecessary. I apologize. I haven't even looked at the chat yet. I'm genuinely sorry. That was a little unnecessary on my part. All my life, I've been told my pain and suffering is my weight, and only my weight, so I understand being frustrated over the diabetes debate. Thank you. Yeah, sorry. I got a little too rude there. So thank you, honey. I don't talk about my diabetes anymore because people are fucking evil. So I did mention that I was back on treating my diabetes just because I wanted to avoid this. Thank you, Dahlia.
I think what's super telling about her is what comments she snaps at versus what comments she says thank you for. And she snaps when people give her genuine helpful advice about something that she is currently dealing with, that could be affecting her life and making her life miserable, versus people saying, everyone's just coming at you for how big you are, and that's not fair. That's what she says thank you for. She says thank you for anyone who is like on her side with like dismissing very huge important like blocks she has put up for herself. But, if you give her actionable advice for issues that she's currently actively dealing with, or present yourself as a resource in any way, she will snap your head off like you're a toddler who just got into her eyeshadow palettes.
And I just wish I knew what was wrong. I was in the process of figuring that out when I lost my insurance.
So here's the thing. She doesn't know what's wrong, but she knows that her pain and her exhaustion have nothing to do with her diabetes. It's something unnamed. It's something exotic. It's something autoimmune related. It's something that has nothing to do with anything that she has any control over. And that's like not how it works, man. You can't self-diagnose or self-determine that you have an autoimmune disorder and then just decide you have one, but you can't go to a doctor to rule it out. So you get to just have this complaint, right? And people are saying like it is the things that you say that you complain about are symptoms of untreated diabetes. And she's like, no, it's not that. So if you don't know what it is, how do you know what it's not? Like it's such she, and I'm not, this is not me cherry picking. This is me pointing out literally the things that she is saying. Because if her pain and her exhaustion and everything she's going through is caused by her weight and her diabetes, that means that she can do something about it. But if she can blame it on this mystery diagnosis, then she doesn't have to, then she has a get out of jail free card where she doesn't have to do anything for herself. And she gets to just blame everything on that, and she gets to never, and it's honestly it's her disease talking, and I'm not going to say which disease, but it, like, she lets it speak for her, where it's those urges coming up and like protecting itself. That's what I think it is. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a polar bear on the internet.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I do get snappier and like angrier and all of that, and I work really hard to not project that out on my family, and like my boyfriend, like the people in my life, and that's why that's what I do. Like if I fuck up, that's what I do. What I just did, like acknowledge it, just like shit, like that was a little out of whack for me. Sorry.
And you get how that wasn't an apology, right? We all agree that that was not an apology. That was her saying, I'm sick and I'm snappy and I get snappy because of my mystery illness. That's not an acknowledgement that you have hurt someone else. That's not acknowledging that your actions have affected another person. I think we like that's clear, right? We're clear on that. Am I cherry picking?
But it's those moments that get cherry picked and they edit around and make it all about how horrible I am. And that's what's another thing that's difficult about this entire fucking situation. Okay.
Alien Holly, again, being very, very generous with her time and her energy. Rosie, you can easily test this theory. Check your blood sugar whenever you're having a really bad day. My diabetes can make me angry, upset, moody, nauseous, in pain, tearful, sad, etc.
I have been working on that, Alien Holly. I just don't want it to get. I don't want to get into that publicly.
She doesn't want to get into that publicly, okay? She wants to complain and she wants to monologue about how much pain she's in and all the things that she's facing. But when it comes to, like, the actionable things that she's doing, she doesn't want to get into that publicly. She doesn't want to share. She doesn't want to share what she's actually doing to prevent herself feeling like garbage. She just wants to complain. But she doesn't want to get into that publicly, guys. It's private. That's private. So Queef Panther, I think Queef Panther was blocked after this live. Said, "Why are you so rude to me today? You said you needed help, but how? You still need to go to a free clinic." Panther was like encouraging her to go to free clinics, which I don't feel is that trolly. I think that that's actually sounds like a great idea. That there are free clinics out there and places you can go to get your blood tested and like, you know, I don't know what it's like to be diabetic and not have insurance. That sounds awful. Um, but it's not like there are zero resources. It's it's crazy. But she was real nasty. She was real nasty to Panther about. She was real nasty to Panther about like all the offerings that they made. And somebody also offered like told her to check her blood sugar online, which on live, which I don't think is a good idea. I don't think that that's like a great idea. But there are nice ways. There are kind ways in this world to decline people's suggestions. They exist, and it's no longer my job to help her with that.
I'm not doing it on live. No, thank you. Oh, I use medical THC. Yeah. The bottom line is I am making progress, and that's part of the problem is I am doing better than I was a few weeks ago, but I'm still struggling even with the progress I've made. Panther, I don't know what else to say other than I'm not being rude to you. I'm not being rude to anyone. I'm being myself, and I'm being direct, and I'm being blunt. I'm sorry if I'm coming across as rude. I'm not intending to. This is where I'm at today. I don't know why you're trying to pick a fight with me. If you're upset with how I'm talking to you or what's going on, just please email me about it so we don't have to do this in front of an audience. I'm not being rude to you. I'm not trying to be rude to you. I'm just talking. Like I don't know what else to say to that. Like I don't want to fight with anybody, and I don't want this to be blown up into a thing.
Like, I just don't. I would like to know what her definition of rude is. Like, I'm just being blunt and I'm just being honest. And I don't know why I'm not being rude. And it's like if someone telling you you're being rude, I have really bad news for you.
I love being in the pool, dude. Oh, hell yeah, brother. Oh, God. Actually, fuck the purple. This is too pretty. Oh, bitch. Hello? Hello? Very vintage glam. Yeah. I feel like it is like a little vintage, but at the same time I feel like I did enough like dimensional work with the blue that it's like slightly updated, you know? But like I said earlier when I was putting on the blush, I was like this is giving like a little too much Mimi. I need to tone down the blush. Not my mom silently nodding her head. Mimi's the word. But I toned down the blush and I don't think it's giving Mimi anymore, but you should do this more often. Yeah. And I want to, especially like as I try to get some like new makeup products in the future and stuff again. Guys, like I'm just doing the best I can with what I have right now. Things are gonna get easier and I know that, but just shit's rough. And I know it's rough for a lot of people, not just me. And we're just trying to make it through, you know? I'm just trying to be careful what I spend my money on. And you know.
So somebody suggested in the chat that she should do this more. They enjoyed this. Her playing with makeup on the couch and just casually talking to chat. Someone said, "Oh, you should do this more." And that immediately launched her into a I don't know, guys. Times are really tough. I'm really broke right now. Times are tough for everybody, but glances at chat. Times are really tough and I could do this more, but like I just don't really have the money for it right now. As she loads up two giant makeup bags filled with all these different like eyeshadow palettes and shit to play with. She has so much stuff. But immediately she just takes she is really genuinely skilled at this at taking every opportunity to dry bag. It's worth watching.
I want to go swimming later, so
Okay, so I counted 34. I don't know how many you guys got. 34 sprays. But you know what? She's just hanging around the house and she's getting in the pool later, so she probably doesn't need it to stick that hard.
thank you guys for hanging out with me. I know earlier I got a little like raw. I'm sorry about that. I kind of leveled out since then. To anybody who's like still watching to this point or whatever, I just want to say, I am trying my best, and I am struggling. I feel with like trying to keep my temperament in line because I do get accused a lot of being rude. And I feel like a lot of the time it's unwarranted. Not always. I'm sure sometimes I can actually be rude and not mean to. But I get accused of being rude when I'm just like not speaking in certain affects, or like if I'm not like putting on like being jovial and happy, and if I'm just like being blunt and direct with what I'm saying, or I'm speaking more monotone when I'm not like putting certain afflictions in my voice and things like that. And it's hard to know like when someone's being genuine with that, or if they're just like perpetrating narratives that are being put out there about me. 1 second.
And then it just ends abruptly. So that's all we're getting for that. I just wanted to address this just because like I don't understand what narratives are being perpetrated when we're just pointing out her literally being rude. And her saying like, "Well, I'm people are calling me rude when I'm acting rude, but I'm not being rude." And it's like but that's literally what it is. It's like we're pointing out, we're just there's no I'm not creating a narrative. I'm pointing out that you're being nasty and you're reacting in a very angry way. And even when you apologize, it's not I'm sorry I made you feel this way. It's I acted this way because of my, afflictions and diseases and issues that are TBD. Um so yeah, I just she she doesn't like hearing things about herself, and I think that that's okay. I don't think anybody likes to hear these kind of things about themselves, but you're putting it on the internet and people are noticing it. So I don't know what to tell you. Whatever you do, do not go to her channel in any way from here and like carry anything to her. This is a closed system, so I don't want anybody giving her grief. This is just you and I hanging out talking about it. So that's going to be it from me. Thanks so much for watching and listening this far. I really appreciate you and all of your support. Please take care of yourselves. Bye.
Bitch.